For all intents and purposes today, I have much to discuss. A great deal of many things to discuss. Before I get to any of that though, I just have one question for you all. Do you like my new do? I got a haircut yesterday. Man, I wish that just getting this haircut, which feels really nice by the way, was like all I had to talk about. Oh my god, I have so much to talk about. Before I do that, I need to get to my low, my high, my active kindness. Actually, you know what? In a way, both my low and my high are very much intertwined with each other. So I'll do my act of kindness first. What do I say for my act of kindness? I know I held the door for somebody yesterday. I did that. Did I do anything else? I carried an item for an old woman yesterday. I also did that. Okay, I guess here. So, what are my low and my high? Well, actually, I can't really get into my low and my high without first talking about everything else that happened throughout the course of the day. So, let's get started with the fact that Hot Ones came out with their season 27 hot sauce lineup. With a twist! A big twist. For you see, this is the first time the good people over at First We Feast and Hot Ones actually allowed fans to take on the wings of death. And they're the first people to try out this new lineup, including Brett Baker, who is a Hot Ones fan, who happened to be one of the people that they asked to bring back to take on the wings of death. And I gotta say, this lineup, pretty solid. I mean, Shaquanda's back with Hot Tropic. Great sauce to start that one off. Sea Branch Flavor Company's Just Winging It. I love the name of that sauce. It's awesome. They brought back Hot Ones Pickled Garlic Sriracha, as they had the last season, because each season they're going to add a different sauce to the lineup. And it was a favorite last season. They brought it back for this one, which is awesome. Alchemy Peppers Mango Serrana Citra with an asterisk hops, which, yes, hops, is in the very same hops you find in beer, which is very interesting. Hook and Arrow Sauerkraut and Mustard. I like sauerkraut. You know, that's actually a sauce I could definitely get. Well, every sauce here I could get behind in actuality. But this sauce in particular, because I like sauerkraut and mustard. I like those things. I mean, I love a Reuben every now and again. That definitely works. Hot Ones, you know, again, last season they brought the Hot Ones Pickled Garlic Sriracha. This season they have Hot Ones Sweet Scotch Bonnet Tropical Amarillo, which is in the 6th spot, no less. Ooh. I do believe this is the first season without Los Calientes. But you know what? Hot Ones has been going on for 10 years. You need, at this point, Hot Ones really should have had, multiple different kinds of hot sauces. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have, various versions of the classic and Los Calientes, which is great, but, even with, different flavors of those sauces, there's still an inherent flavor profile that's common throughout. With the pickled garlic sriracha and the sweet Scotch bonnet tropical amarillo, it's very clear they're trying to go for different flavor profiles that are unique to their own. And I love that, they're doing that. That's awesome. It's really cool. Well, you couldn't be Hot Ones without talking about Smokin' Ed at least once. And Smokin' Ed has apricot sauce. See, apricot, obviously there's apricots in it, but the hot is in between the C and the O in the word apricot, so it's apricot. So, yeah. Very inventive. Then you have the Bomb Beyond Insanity. Do I really need to talk about that? It's the Bomb Beyond Insanity. That's like talking. That, like, seriously, like, that's like asking if I really need to say anything about how goated Dave Chappelle is as a comedian. Like, what am I going to say that people haven't already said about how, well, in this case, how hot this sauce is? And you know what? When I saw this next sauce at number 9, I'm like, oh my God, the king has returned. Okay. Hands down, one of the, and this is actually what Sean Evans says. His favorite, one of his all-time, it is Mount Rushmore of hot sauces. There's a brand of hot sauce called Torchbear. They've had several, it's been on Hot Ones, to my count, 3 other times. Garlic Reaper, which is on Sean Evans' Mount Rushmore of hot sauces. Headless Horseradish, and Honey Badger. But this time they're back at the 9th spot with Sucker Punch Super Hot and Sour. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't hate this sauce at all. It's just like, I mean, again, when I mentioned Reaper Garlic, they actually showed like the Grim Reaper. Like for Headless Horseradish, it showed the Headless Horseman, because Headless Horse back. And now you have, and Honey Badger, there was actually an image of the Honey Badger. I need to look at that bottle again. I couldn't really make out the image it was, but you know what? Torchbearer is back. That's awesome. I mean, we had Queen Majesty return last season, and now you have Torchbearer back here. That's awesome. Actually, it's been bothering me for a while. Let me flip the phone real fast. There we go. And finally, you have the Last Dab Experience, which is the Last Dab Experience. And what, I mean, again, it's like what I said about the bomb earlier. What more needs to be said about it? And all throughout this video, fans are trying these sauces and reacting to it. And I mean, honestly, that's awesome that First Week Feast allowed this. It really does. Because you know what? It's very clear that the people over at First Week Feast are fans of their own show to let this happen. Like, this episode was, in a lot of ways, made by fans for the fans, which I'm a huge proponent of. I love that. That's awesome. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys are wondering, considering I'm the only, as far as I know, I'm literally like the only guy on the internet that actually talks about his thoughts on every Hot Ones episode that happens. I mean, I'm sure you guys are like, well, Nick, aren't you mad they didn't invite you? No, I'm not mad. Listen, for all intents and purposes, I'm hardly anybody in terms of, being on the internet wise. The fact that they're clearly bigger fans than I am, like, the bigger fans than I am, they deserve to be there, not me. I mean, if First Week Feast ever asked me to do anything like that or even be on the show, I would very humbly and graciously say yes. But right now, you know what? We're at 27 seasons. The important thing is, we're here. I think it's going to be a great season. I don't know what's going to happen yet, but I am excited. Okay, that was the first thing I need to talk about. Now I need to talk about the other thing I saw, which was Pixar came out, yes, Disney and Pixar. They came out with a new show. A studio that's made 27 feature films. I believe that's what they said. Made a new show called Win or Lose, which is basically an anthology series of all things. And basically it's about a co-ed middle school softball team it's called the Pickles. It's as if, considering how much I've been watching softball lately, and the fact that the team name in the show is called the Pickles, like this show really was kind of made for me. It's awesome. I'll get to softball in a minute because I have a lot to talk about there. It's kind of hard for me to talk about Win or Lose in terms of what's it about, because I just said it was an anthology series. But the show basically starts, every episode starts at the beginning of a week where this team wins a big game and they're able to go to the state championship. Now, after that game, we follow 8 different characters in each episode, one in each episode, obviously, and they go through the course of that week up until the night of the big championship game. I mean, and with, obviously all these people are interconnected, they're going through the course of the week from their own point of view and how they envision and how they look at things from their point of view. You have the first episode deals with the coach's kid and how, there's an expectation that, she needs to live up to, and sadly she's not very good. There's a single mom trying to get it done, raising 2 kids. There's the umpire who is on a dating app trying to find a girlfriend throughout the week. There's an inter-teen romance. There's the little brother of the girl in said inter-teen romance that you follow. There's just so much interconnecting things, and they do a great. There's also clearly the best player on the team who loves the sport, but her father who pushes her too much makes it not so much fun anymore. There's a lot, and the coach himself. The coach has to deal with a lot of constructive criticism. Trying to stay calm. When he's on, when you're on the field, that's your sanctuary. And there's so many other great visuals they do in Pixar's always been great at visual storytelling, but this is some of their best work ever. Seriously, if you've never seen Win or Lose, I highly recommend you check it out. It's a lot. Yes, at the end of the day, there's still a state championship softball game that these kids have to play, and it builds up to a really great finale. But you're following these characters throughout and how they see and react to things going on throughout the course of that week. I could do an entire video on each episode alone. But, I don't know. I'll do something about that. I'll have to see. Although, speaking of softball, hold on a second. You can probably see it behind the computer, but I did not mean for that to happen. Actually, the record button is right behind is covering where the cowbell is. So, as many of you know, I've been bringing this cowbell to a lot of horse-head sporting events I've been going to. Obviously, it's my way of combining Trinity Polly and horse-heads. You can see the Trinity Polly right there, TP. It's been my way of combining both Trinity Polly and horse-heads. Little would I know that seriously, I think only one time have I ever brought this cowbell to a horse-head sporting event and horse-heads lost. That's only happened once. Horseheads won sectionals in football because of this. Horseheads has won softball games I go to because of this. Horseheads has won flag football games when I brought this. I know, maybe really it's just a luck thing. Maybe I am speaking crazy. But as Jason Kelsey of the Philadelphia Eagles will tell you, all that energy goes somewhere. And it works. But then there was last night. Okay, so full stop. Last Friday there was supposed to be a softball game at Horseheads against Corning. Now Corning beat Horseheads at Corning, so obviously Horseheads is home game against Corning. Makes sense. But it got rained out after one inning, had to stop the game, can't play anymore, so we got to schedule again. This game was pushed back at least twice up until last night. And unfortunately, the second game had to be played in Corning again, where Corning technically does have home field advantage, but because Horseheads was supposed to be the home team, Horseheads would be the home team for this game, right? But in the beginning, it really did seem like, in the beginning it was great because the first inning is like 2-all. Both teams scored 2 runs, which is awesome. Well, sort of. It's awesome for Horseheads, but it's good for Corning. It is. I should say, it's good for Horseheads, bad for listen, I'm all about fair competition here. I am. So, and then Corning starts pulling away. So by like the top of the 7th, after the top of the 7th, because remember Corning, even though we're at Corning, Corning's a visiting team, like Corning's winning 10-6. That means Horseheads has to score 4 runs just to tie. And here I'm thinking, by the way, my hoodie is, I gotta wash my hoodie because since I got my haircut yesterday, I put the hoodie on after I got my haircut, so I gotta wash it so there's no hairs in it. Well, anyway, I'm thinking, is the cowbell not going, is this thing not going to work? For once? Don't get me wrong, except for one other time, Horseheads has always won any time I brought this cowbell anywhere. Is it not going to work? And then, as if some sort of force in the universe was making a move, Horseheads gets 2 runners on base, and number 12 hits a massive homer that brings the score up to 10-9, so now it's 10-9. And then number 14 for Horseheads hits another homer. It's 10-10. Oh my God! Ah! Everyone's going nuts. I'm ringing this thing like crazy, even though technically I'm not supposed to. It was so awesome. Oh my, everyone in Horseheads played awesome. Here's the thing. This game was going so well. If, for whatever reason, Horseheads didn't win, I wouldn't be that upset. Because I thought they played really well. Coming back from, 10-6 or whatever. That number 8 who was the pitcher, she was really good. I just mentioned number 12 and 14. Actually, I think 8 and 12 are seniors. So, yeah. Congratulations on a great senior year. Man, I'm just saying, I don't know if, they have league MVPs in Section 4 softball, or for, MVPs of the week or athlete for the week, but that number 14 is going to win, Southern Tier Conference Athlete of the Week. At least once. She's going to win it once. That's all I'm saying. Anyway. But everything that was going on, the game wound up being so late, and because Corning doesn't have any stadium lights, they had to stop the game after 9 innings. Yeah, it went into extra innings, and it got so dark, they had to stop the game. So now there's going to be a game, this time actually at Horseheads. Thank you. It better be it should have been at Horseheads last night. Apparently Corning was getting so many lucky calls too. Because they're at Corning, of course. But, yeah. That part was kind of dumb. But everything else, the fact that Horseheads came back from, a 10-6, going 10-6 going in the final inning. It was supposed to be final inning. And they come back from, people say, I watch it for the thrill of the sport. I watch it because it's exciting. How often do you really get to see that supposed... We say thrill, but how often do we actually see anything like that? Considering that sports are played all around the world, I'm sure that it's seen many times, but when people say I watch it for the thrill of the sport or for the action, what happened at the end of the game, that's the sort of thing I want to see. That's why, I say it, well, I go because a friend of mine, his daughter plays softball, but, you watch for stuff like this. I had a blast last night. I mean, and I mentioned my low and my high are connected. This is how my low and my high are connected because I had such a great time at the game last night. But I'm bummed that it had to end in a tie, so now we got to start over again today. I don't know what's going to happen in terms of... Because here's the thing. Like, Horseheads really can win this game. Especially when I wear my Horseheads hoodie and bring the combo. But it all depends on, like, what kind of adjustments Horseheads will need to make between last night and... Seriously, like... The game ended at like 8:30 something last night, and this new game that's going to start at 0 is going to be at 5. That's not even 24 hours of rest. I mean, God love those ladies for doing that, man. Like, there's no way that's easy to do. That can't be easy to do. But you know what? You know, Horseheads is coached by a good guy. You know, they got a good team. They can get it done. However, I mean, again, I have like no coaching expertise, so Lord knows I would have no idea what I do in this situation. But I tell you what, I mentioned number 8, the pitcher, earlier. Like, I mean, she was doing great, but, I mean, do you pitch 2 games in a row back to back? Even if it hasn't been 24 hours? I mean, I don't know. Oh, anyway, it should be an exciting game tonight. Oh my gosh, this is like the first legit time I have like a short sleeve shirt on because it's so warm out. But you know what? I got Raider Blue on, even though technically it's not legit, you know. It doesn't say Horseheads on, but this is definitely Raider Blue. You know, I'm ready to go. I'm excited. I can't wait for the game tonight. I got a big day ahead of me. Not to mention, this is my last weekend until we start going back up to Keuka Lake for the summer. Let's get to it. I hope you like this video. If you like this YouTube channel, follow on social media. As always, I'm very humble in this video for all of you guys who watched Joe today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday. Oh, I forgot to say Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. And remember, if you guys want to talk to channel, you're here to lend and always your back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby. Go Raiders.